Hey everybody, how's it going out there? I just wanted to say hey and let you know that I'm going to be talking about over the next few weeks getting started up and running. The last few weeks I've been talking about getting faster and stronger, and now it's time to dial it back a bit and talk to you guys out there who are wanting to get started and who might be having a tough time getting started, because getting started running after kids is hard. If you're feeling heavy and different after kids, and like this running thing is not the same as it used to be, it's because it isn't. It's because it is different, because your body is different. I'm gonna start to talk about that over the next few weeks, and a couple of the things that you can do to get yourself up and running again. And I know people tell me the number one thing they struggle with is time. I don't have time. It's time to get the workouts in. And I'm going to actually challenge you guys and push you a little bit harder, because there's something that comes before time when you're trying to begin, when you're finding yourself struggling to get started, struggling to commit, struggling to stick with the program, struggling to prioritize yourself enough to get the workouts in, because it's not all about the workouts. And sometimes we need to be gentle on ourselves and actually think about some self-care at a very different level. We need to think about sleep. So there's a hierarchy of training for running, for training for anything, okay? The number one thing that you need to do when you're struggling to get started is get some sleep. Focus on getting some sleep. If you can get some better sleep, you're going to feel better. You feel more positive. You're going to start to make better choices in your day. You're going to be able to prioritize yourself and maybe create the time if you're sleeping better. So there's so many different levels of running moms out there. Sometimes I wish I would have called this like running moms 2 years after babies, or running moms the first 6 months, because it really depends what stage of parenting you're in, what stage of being a mom you're in, and what you can commit to and what you should expect of yourself and how you push yourself. I've just been talking about the Faster, Stronger Challenge, and that's for those of you who have bigger kids, you have lots of time, you have lots of support, you've reconnected to your core, you're ready to push. But then there's a period of time where you're not sleeping, you're not taking care of yourself, you don't even have time to be eating properly, you're stressed, you are overwhelmed with everything you need to do as a mom who potentially just had your baby, or potentially you're back at work and you've got kids all over the place and you don't have support at home. So this is a very different point to be in when we're talking about getting back to up and running. It's not just about pushing through and putting your excuses away and just pushing yourself. It's not. It's about learning to take care of yourself. It's learning to be gentle on yourself. It's about getting sleep, managing stress, eating real food, and moving your body. Not training, not following a rigorous training program, because what I see is people will join my RunningMoms training groups and they'll drop out very quickly because it's stressful. Like, it's stressful to follow a training program when you're not even you haven't committed to just getting out for a walk or just moving your body more often, more regularly. You can't go from nothing to training right away. You need to be sleeping. You need to be managing stress. You need to be eating nutritious food. And you need to be moving your body in general, whatever that means, right? Those are like 4 really important pieces of training that come before you get to that training piece. So if you're one of those mamas out there, give me a shout out below. Let me know, and let me know what you struggle with. Are you sleeping okay? What is your stress level at? Do you have a way to cope with your stress? Do you have an outlet for that stress? Because when you're not sleeping, when you're not managing your stress, and when you're not moving and committing to some really basic strategies around eating, and you're finding yourself like just having those sugar cravings all the time and indulging in all that food that just makes you feel guilty, and then you end up wasting all your energy feeling guilty about yourself and feeling crappy, like you're in this negative cycle, right? And that needs to be broken. And you need to start with something, and it can feel hard and it can feel overwhelming, but start with something small that you can control. And I know sleep feels like something we can't control with little kids, and for a long time I couldn't. But what I did change was my mindset around that, right? Like, I can't do anything when my kids wake up every 2 hours. I'm dying. But I didn't push myself to train in that period of time. So that was how I managed my sleep deprivation. Was I can't train. I need to just move my body. I need to get out and just enjoy my run. And I know that when I get out and move my body, I feel free, I feel alive, and I feel like me. So I got it moved, I helped manage my stress when I moved, right? And then I made better eating choices, because then you're creating a positive cycle, okay? And that's where you need to start. You need to commit to trying to get better sleep. And a lot of us can make changes for sleep. Like, I don't need to be on the internet at 10:30 at night when my kids have gone to sleep. Like, I need to be sleeping. I need to prioritize myself and my sleep and understand how that affects the rest of my life, how that affects my sugar cravings, how that affects my coffee addiction, how that affects my mood and how I respond to the rest of my day, right? I need to get some sleep. I need to manage my stress. What can I do to manage stress? I can't control everything, and I can't worry about what I can't control, but I can focus on what I've got control of. I've got control of me, my emotions, and how I respond to everything going on around me. So that's what I control. I control what I watch on social media, who I talk with on social media, who I spend my time with. I control my friends. I control all of that energy that's coming into me. I've cut out entire friends. We've had to cut out family. I've cut out lots of things to take away that negative stress, that negative energy, because as a mom who's busy, who's not sleeping, who's working, who's got goals, who's got all this stuff going on, I can't have negative energy coming in. I've cut it off, and I only do things that bring me positive energy, because I need that to take the best care of myself and my kids, okay? So you need to manage your stress. Start with one thing. I actually started by simply bringing flowers into my house because they made me feel happy. I was in Winnipeg. It was winter. It was cold. It was dark. It was gross. I always move. That's like a constant in my life. I never, ever press pause on my movement. But I needed more, so I would bring fresh flowers in. Now I use essential oils. They're a very, very powerful part of my self-care, of my stress management, from the aroma therapy effects on emotional health. I use them every day. I love them. They're habitual now. I didn't have them back then, so I used stuff like flowers and, just something that means something to you. I had one person who really, she loved cooking. She didn't really have time to cook, but she really wanted to have those fresh herbs in her fridge when she opened them up, because that made her feel happy. It made her feel good. It made her feel like herself. So she always made sure she had fresh herbs in her fridge, so when she opened them up, she inhaled those herbs and she knew they were there, and then she started cooking better food too. So something that's going to help you feel happy, uplift you. It's going to help manage your stress. It's going to bring you out of a negative cycle and bring you into a positive cycle, okay? Focus on what you can control and keep it simple, and really appreciate those simple things. What else did I say? Good nutrition. Keep it simple, but focus on real food 80% of the time. I cannot stress that enough. Nutrition does not have to be difficult, and we make nutrition really difficult. I think it's also because bad nutrition, quick, fast, terrible nutrition is so easily accessible to us, and we're always so busy, and it's just so easy to grab it, right? When I lived in Costa Rica, this became really apparent. There was no fast food. Like, you had to think about your food, and it wasn't on every single corner hitting you everywhere. Like, sometimes I think that we don't even have a chance to eat real good food because we're just bombarded everywhere with crap everywhere we go. So just keep it simple, keep it real, and plan ahead as much as you can. I eat out a lot, but I make sure that I eat out right. I don't eat out crap, because that makes me feel bad. That makes me feel guilty, and I don't like that energy. I've cut that energy out, okay? And then you need to move your body. So that doesn't mean getting out for a training run. That doesn't mean pushing when you're exhausted or getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That means, it means just getting up from your house and getting outside and putting the kids in a stroller and going for a walk and living a life that's more active. We are such a sedentary population, and when you're sedentary and then you train, I mean, it's so hard, right? Like, you need to be moving and make that a consistent part of your life before you can train. Because if you're not in the habit of movement, if you're not loving movement, if you don't know what there's not something that you do that you love that includes movement, it's very, very difficult to train, because that training is going to be like a chore. It's going to be like punishment. It's going to be something you don't look forward to. It's going to become just another to-do on your list, and that is when you're going to start a program and you're going to drop out, okay? So before you get to training, the point of this video, if you're catching this now or on the replay, is that before you get to run training, I'm talking to the beginners now, those of you out there who are struggling to get started or who maybe want to get started, before you hop into a training program, you need to take care of yourself first. And even so, you need to decide that you need to take care of yourself. You need to focus on sleep. You need to focus on stress management. You need to focus on real food, nutrition. Keep it simple 80% of the time. Do the best you can. Release your guilt around food because it's killing all of us. And that takes some work, but that's okay. You can do that. And then number 4 is you need to just move. Just move your body. Find something you love and just do it. Just do it relentlessly. Just move. But don't commit to a structured training program because you're not ready yet. You need to get started first. Does that make sense, you guys? If you're out there and you're finding yourself struggling to get started, you're finding yourself starting and stopping, you need to focus on some of these things first and work a bit more on the mindset of prioritizing yourself, okay? Because that's where it begins. You deserve to prioritize yourself. You are a busy mom, and you are probably taking care of everybody else every second of the day, but who is taking care of you? And I know for me, nobody was taking care of me. And that's probably the same for you. Nobody is taking care of you. You need to take care of you. You need to prioritize yourself enough. You need to love yourself enough to know that you deserve to take care of some of these issues. You deserve 30 minutes a day to take care of you, whether that is reading a book, having gratitude, getting some extra sleep, getting yourself some essential oils to start taking care of some of that emotional health in a very simple way that doesn't take more of your time. If that's getting out for a walk or going to the gym or meeting up with some friends for a yoga class, like whatever that is, decide that you are worth it, that you deserve that time, because you know that when you do that, you're going to bring out a better you to the rest of your life. You're going to be a better wife. You're going to be a better mom. You're going to be gentler on yourself and be able to release that guilt and pressure and stress from you when you take care of you at that very base level. And that doesn't mean training. It doesn't mean training for 5K. It means just taking care of you and maybe finding your tribe of people who are going to help you feel good about that and help you through that, because this stuff seems easy and it's not easy. It takes lots of work, persistence, and focus on you when there's a billion other things going on. The kids are sick, the kids have hockey, the kids have this, the husband has that, everything else is going on, but you still exist. And I think, I'm a run coach, I'm a physiotherapist, I'm very physical in my training and in my profession, but I think that what I love doing the most is helping women to bridge that gap between having kids and living an inspired life again, because I know that was a very dark, difficult time for me. And until I decided to take care of myself at the very base level, and I became relentless in doing so, did I find my inspiration again? Did I find my light? Did I find myself again? And that is what I'm trying to bring to you guys in Running Moms, to help you bridge that gap between having kids and taking care of everybody else, and all those changes that happen in life where maybe your career has gone sideways and you have to give up friends and you have to give up all this stuff, to finding a place where you can take care of you and feel inspired again to live a happy, productive life in your new role, right? I think as women, we push and push and push all our lives, we go to university and we get degrees and we do all this stuff, and then we have kids, and we need to slow down. We need to pull in. We need to adjust, and there's an adjustment period that happens, and just pushing yourself physically isn't enough to help you bridge that gap. So running for me is the mode. It's one of the methods to get you through that, but it's only one piece, and it doesn't mean training for a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon or a marathon. It means learning to take care of you at the very core root place, with sleep, stress management, healthy eating, moving your body, and choosing you, choosing to take care of you. So that's my spiel. If you guys don't know me, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Carrie. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm a health coach. I'm a run coach. I'm a busy mom of 2, and I love helping you guys get back up and running. and again, helping you bridge that gap between being a mom and living an inspired life again. So if you agree with this stuff, if you think this resonates with your love, if you could like it and you could share it around, because there's a lot of mamas out there who are struggling in this period post kids, and I don't want them to be. I want them to be feeling awesome and inspired and badass and get back to running when they're ready. But it's about connecting with people and getting them back to running when they're ready. Okay, that's so key, and that's like my biggest message takeaway here. So thanks for listening to the end. I could ramble all day like this. I love it, and I love that you guys are all out there listening and following along, and I'm wanting to take care of you. Thanks. Have an awesome day.